All right, it's 6:47 p.m. on Thursday, November 15th. This is a meeting of the advisory committee, and the only major item on our agenda is to consider a transfer request from our veterans agent, Mr. Cabral. The transfer request is for $21,000, and that would be a transfer from the advisory reserve fund to the veterans benefits line item. And just as background, we budgeted $16,800 in that line for fiscal year 19. So this is a request for an additional $21,000. So I was just hoping you could talk us through the need for this request, and I think some people might have questions.
Well, that's fine. I'll try to do the best I can.
Yep.
Last, in 2016, 2017, the average cost per month was about $1,000 for all the veterans we had. At the time, I think there was only one or two. And 17, average went up to $1,400 a month. Towards the end of 17, went up. And let's see, from beginning of June, the average, like I said, $1,400. One veteran was added, and the status of another one was changed, which increased his monthly income, or the amount the town would give him for support.
Yep.
So the average went up to $2,800 a month.
As of July 2018.
Yeah, right.
So that's the total per month per?
That's what it usually runs, right
Okay,
about between $2,800 and $3,000.
Okay, so that's per veteran?
No, total for
okay.
the,
That's why I asked.
for the two couples we have, and a husband, two couples, and a lady and a man.
Right.
But the 1,400, the 2,800 seems to be pegged to 1 month, July 2018 average. And you have to have an average, you got to have it over a period.
Right.
And before that, we had a average of in the 2017, 2018 period, which I assume is FY18, but that's an assumption. I don't know if that's true or not. It was 2014, or it was 1,400.
Yeah,
so we doubled
July
somewhere.
and November, right? It essentially has.
Right.
That's correct.
In July, we picked up another husband and wife.
So that
July,
July 2018 is July 2018
Right.
through into November 2018 is the average. Okay.
And this could change tomorrow. If somebody calls me on the phone and says, I need help. Or one of my veterans is in his late 90s, so it could change that way too, you know. I can't forecast what's going to happen 6 months from now.
What's the nature of help?
Well, right now, let me start with...
I didn't interrupt.
Whatever the money the town spends, they get 75% of that back from the state. So you have to remember that part. We only spend it, of course you got to shell it and put it on. Right now, we reimburse for Medicare costs, health insurance costs, if they have any co-pays for medications, doctor visits, eyeglasses, foot care, whatever the co-pay would be, we reimburse them for that.
And can I just clarify? And so that can be pretty variable.
Yes.
So if a particular person has an expensive co-payment for, say, durable medical equipment or like a particular drug, that could really increase your monthly cost.
If, we'll say the guy's on insulin.
Right.
That could bump it $200-300. His co-pay would be,
Yep.
you know.
Is there any needs basis?
It's all needs basis. Yep. Everything.
Do you have a way of verifying that?
Yep. We verify actually the first of the year, first of the year they have to come up with checking accounts with their your social security statements, benefit letter. The state does a good job on making sure it goes to a veteran and doesn't go somewhere else. you know.
How are the
Restrictions are pretty tight.
expenditures for co-pays and these other things you mentioned, how are those, if you will, audited or verified or?
Right now, let's see, when I do paperwork, I send everything into my authorizer in Boston. She goes off of all the paperwork that I sent her. She matches my numbers to make sure everything adds up right. Make sure I'm not paying him for something he shouldn't be getting paid for. And they keep good track of what I'm spending on and making sure I don't make a mistake.
Does the recipient provide to you some documentation?
Every month. Every month. They have to bring in their co-pays, their medical bills, hospital bills, doctor bills. I can't give them any money unless they give me a receipt. They just can't say, I went to the doctor, cost me $50.
Yeah.
It's all documented.
All documented, right. Yep. And one of the veterans, his status changed because of his income. And now he gets fuel assistance, and he gets a thing called ordinary benefits, which is like a couple $100 extra a month. He's the biggest, one of the biggest costs we have, is him and his wife.
Is there a reason why you're requesting the higher amount, the $3,000 versus the around, there's around $1,700 and then with...
No, that's the old amount.
Actually, I just finished my paperwork today, and the ending balance for the month is going to be about $2,000.
Yep, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So you can fund December, but that's it.
Okay, here's
I mean, we can pay December.
$2,800
December, right.
versus a high of 3,000. So we're
Right.
requesting the remaining months times the high number versus the 2,800. I'm just
Just
wondering
to-
what the thinking was behind that.
Just because I can't forecast the future.
I think 28 to 3,000 is.
It'd be nice to turn it all back, some of it to the town, but like I says, if I pick up another veteran or another family,
Yeah. The alternative would be to come back to the well.
Then I'd have to come back to you.
That may be.
yes, yeah, all right,
Because
that's
we've got a
that's
lot
the
of
reason.
people coming to us.
Yeah,
If everybody takes the.
I mean, I
the
could
high
go
side.
with a lower number, but like I said, I'd be back here.
But aren't we obligated to pay these? I mean, I don't think
Yeah.
it's something we can say no.
No.
But once we
Even if we run out of.
earmark funds in our reserve, we can't, we have a finite reserve.
We
Yeah.
have to go to
We
town
do
meeting.
get
I
asked.
think I don't know how that works. I mean, what if, that's a good question. What if the appropriation ran out? Like, say there was not a reserve fund and the Veterans
Yeah.
Benefits appropriation ran out. I assume
I know,
the town is obligated to
yes.
pay.
They are
They
obligated.
are.
So we would have
Yes.
to have a town
We have
meeting.
no choice.
We'd have to have a
Yeah.
special town meeting to appropriate money.
right.
Or we would basically have to always keep in mind like if we went with the lower number, we would be basically giving him $1,400 less than he's requesting, so we have to make sure that we didn't use up, we could use up everything but that
And
1,400.
why not just give it to them?
Oh, I see
Right.
what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
mean, either way, you're gonna give it to them now or in June.
We
right?
just finished observing Veterans Day, and here we are.
We're just not in the habit of rounding up everybody and saying,
Oh, I-
well, you might need it. That
I
the
see.
might
Well,
need
like
is-
last month was
Yeah.
3,000.
I mean, everybody
So-
else, we try to cut
Yep.
it as close and say, come back again if you need.
I can do that. It's up to whatever you'd like.
Is the 21,000 or whatever the number ends up being, is that extra, that's the total extra, or is that the
That's
total
figuring
and we
on
can
at
subtract what's in
$3,000 a
your
month.
budget?
And that covers everybody you've got now.
Yes.
So if you had another veteran come in, you would be short
If
again.
you've spent
It's
everything.
possible,
Yeah, I'm
depending on
just-
what his
yeah.
expenses are.
he has spent
He's spent
everything
everything.
but $2,000.
All right, so we do.
Just,
okay,
just to
yeah,
give you an
yeah.
example, my friend that's a veteran agent in Stowe, he has a lady with 2 kids, a veteran, 2 kids, and he gives her almost $3,000 a month. Because of her kids, she's not working, she's disabled, a whole bunch of stuff, you know. So if she moved to Bolton,
People can come mid-year, and it's, you have to, yeah.
yeah, so I can't, I don't know how to tell you, I can not ask for money
Yeah.
without knowing if somebody's coming.
Does anyone else have questions?
It's just helpful to know how it works, so that I
Hi.
appreciate you. It's helpful to know how it works, I appreciate your
Yeah.
explaining it.
No, well, you sure you know how it works?
Well, I sort of
You
do,
think
you
so?
have so many veterans that they get a certain allowance.
Right, and we take care of husband and wives.
Right,
If the husband passes, we still take care of the wife, whether they're single, married, unless she gets remarried, then she's. And after our Veterans Day breakfast, somebody might say, oh, hey, I didn't know we had a veteran agent, you know, because I left a bunch of cards. And I don't know if I'll get a response from any, but you never know.
Did you have any questions?
I have no questions.
Okay.
My only question is, are we asking for the 21,000 or the 19,600 with the possibility of, I mean, even the 21 can go up, so it's not like that's it.
Well, it's up to you to make the request you'd like to make, and then we can vote on it.
I would say I would go with the 21.
So I'll entertain a motion to approve a $21,000 transfer from the advisory reserve fund to the veteran.
I so
benefits line.
moved.
I second.
Okay.
All right.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Thank you very much for everything you do,
Okay.
and thanks for pulling together the information for us.
Anytime you need questions answered, whatever.
We'll be seeing you sooner than you'd like, because budget season is right around the corner.
That's right.
February.
It seems like I just did that.
You did.
Well, and hopefully if you got more veterans, you know, we do have a town meeting in May, so it could time out. If
Well,
you
that's
needed more
possible.
money, that would be
That's
an
true.
appropriate time.
I mean, it's been steady right as it is now. We've always had the same ones. It's just one went up, one
Yep.
high, you know, and so it's,
Well, it's always going to be a little variable, you can't predict it.
right, correct.
And we do get 75% back.
Someday.
Someday,
I don't
yeah.
know
I mean,
when-
there's a lag
I don't
time
know
for
when
sure.
they do that.
Yeah.
But you do get 75% back. All right,
All right, thank you.
thank you.
Good night, Mr. Pavone.
Thank you.
Bye.
The only other item we had was approval of minutes, and I don't think we have any to approve, except we did just want to mention one thing. So, Joe, you had mentioned you're going to be having some procedures that might
Yes,
put your eyes
even worse than they are now.
at strain. So, Ted, you agreed that you would serve as the interim minute taker?
Yes.
So, you just want to make that official? I don't think we need to vote on it.
Not a secretary, just
Yeah,
interim,
yeah. So,
acting secretary.
but by our next meeting, I'll work with Ted to make sure we have a slate of minutes to approve for this meeting and a couple previous ones. So with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn unless there's any other business people want to discuss.
I so moved.
All right, any second?
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.